Aloha, friends and neighbors. Roland Frost here, Kona astrologer. Thank you for inviting me into your living room. We're going to cover the first week in March 2015 in the sky mirror for you right now. And then I got a lot of little tidbits and interesting informations to give you. So, see, first thing off is Saturn is stationing. Brrr, it's going to get cold. It's March 14th. Yeah, it's two sides to old Saturn. Most people, the frown is for the bad Saturn. Take it down, take it down. Delay it, take it away. The good side of the old goat is that he rebuilds things. He rebuilds foundations, you know. There he is. I was going to draw him real big, but next week he'll be even bigger for you. So there's Saturn, the cross of matter over the crescent of people. Here's the manager, the CEO, the guy in the suit with the checkbook. The terrible management of countries and corporations that puts money before people and their health and safety. Here's a mayor, you know, who put money first, safety and health second. Here's, anyway, get the idea. Okay, I did a chart for you. Here it is. And I'm going to start talking, you know, we have the old Uranus-Pluto square, but interesting thing, Mars and Venus are there together. Mars at 6, Venus at 8 as we speak, degrees of Aries. When Mars and Venus in conjunction lie, young maids, whate'er is asked of you, deny. That's what Ben wrote in his Poor Richard's Almanac. So he didn't like Mars and Venus. Venus could get hurt here. Mars too rough. That'll work in your personal life too, I'll betcha. Anyway, they're both moving up here, and they're going to hit Uranus. And here's Uranus at 15. So Mars won't quite hit it at the end of your next week. Next weekend, not the one you're coming to. But Mars on Uranus could be sudden fires and violence and electrical fires. And, you know, people hurt of a Uranus identity. Here's some homeless guys or crippled guys. Now they could also get very angry. You know, and with the square to you-know-who, Pluto, the policeman, look out. This ain't a good time for policemen to mess with sudden violence on the part of street people or environmentalists or I don't know who. But, wow, it's going to be an active time, huh? Venus is going to go by Uranus first. And you'll see that towards the last half of your next week. And it'll soften up Venus a lot. So you'll see, who's Uranus? Let's see, Uranus would be the newscasters on TV. And you'll see them soften up and even get a little teary-eyed when Venus goes by Uranus. And then when Mars gets close, they all get angry. Anyway, the cops don't like any of it. Pluto's in square. But I'll talk a little bit about another square here, because Saturn's about to stop at 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's going to square Neptune at 7 Pisces. It's only 2 degrees off. Now this is something that's going to go on for a while. Saturn's going to come back and square Neptune again and again. In fact, I made a list for you here for your edification. Saturn and Neptune are going to have a battle. Now Saturn squaring Neptune, Saturn is the judge. Neptune, you know, the priest, artist, doctor, is like, you know, I just got kind of irate because I saw this oil company fiasco, this TV commercial, and what did they say? I made a note. We're going to be, the U.S. is going to be #1 in the world in producing gas. We're the #1 gas producer in the world. What they're not telling you is there ain't that much of it. And poof, it's gone. And they're ripping us all off for $1. Sorry. Hey, oil companies, look out, they're not what they seem. Doctors and drugs, there's going to be a lot of those busted and taken to court, and the judge is going to say, stop putting those drugs out on your TV commercial. You know, this could be Neptune. This could be the drug war. This could be very harsh kinds of things coming down on Neptune. Maybe some of those priests you know, that have been pedophiles for a while and gotten away with it will finally be brought to the bar and face the judge. So, when does it happen? Well, it's happening in March, the middle of March 2015. It gets very active. And then Saturn comes back and squares Neptune again in November 2015, and comes back again in August 2016, and finishes with an eclipse on September 1st, when there's going to be a month when this thing between, you know, how far can you go in bringing the drug companies to responsibility, or the oil companies, or the church? I don't know. But it's kind of like, you know, if you get a ticket, and here you are in the middle of March and you got a ticket, and you got to go into court. Well, you don't go to court till November. Right, okay. And then you say, okay, not guilty. They set you up for a next court date, August 2016. You got to go in and plead, I'm guilty or not guilty or something. And finally, maybe here's the trial, see, in September 2016. And we'll have Neptune facing the law. Neptune kind of characters, those, whether they're, there's a lot of good Neptunes, don't get me wrong, there's good priests, artists, doctor, musicians, but, you know, the bad ones, the phonies, are tough. You know, the people who are acting all the time. And usually they wind up in some privileged place. So this is going to be tough on those privileged people, you know, that think that they're movie stars or kings or something. And now you know the schedule. So, Neptune, look out. Saturn's watching you. And he's getting really strong. And Mars and Venus, goodness. What do you do for the young gals? You know, deny it. Deny it. You know, probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Venus will be on Uranus, and there'll be sudden desires will come up very suddenly and very strong, amplified desires. When Mars gets to Uranus, sudden flare-ups of testosterone and tempers and physical action, and maybe, you know, burns and cuts, you know, which doesn't show up until the beginning of your next week. What's that, around the 11th, 12th, 13th of March? Well, these are major squares, and you're going to feel them. The light thing here is that Mercury is opposing Uranus, or Jupiter, and too much talk. But that, you know, it's not going to be large in the sky mirror. Let's take a look at it day by day. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as things go around here once, they go around your chart once. They go around the Earth once, they go around your chart once. So anyway, as the moon makes angles to the actors on the stage, these planetary bodies, it kind of generates the mood of the times. We're looking at the details of the script for the play. Yeah, it's starting here on Friday. Kind of a tough day. The middle of the day, this first is the square to the moon, or Mars, and everybody's ticked off and impatient. And then in the middle of that, after you're all impatient and angry, look at that. There is Neptune and the sun. And it's like we all turn into higher heart, priest, artists, doctors for an hour or so. And then after that is Venus. And we all get stuck in giving up and crying and wanting desire and not getting it. So this is tough on Mars and Venus. But in the middle of their trials, Romeo and Juliet having all this trouble, somehow if there's some music and we can all get along, hopefully. Not an easy Friday. Not a time to go out on a date, guys. It's a time to stay home and listen to music. Saturday ain't any better, and it starts with that terrible Uranus-Pluto thing, you know, and high winds and feeling of aloneness and power and control issues and police and guns and a little panicky, okay, Saturday morning. Eek, a bug. And slowly working its way back to Friday, you know. A month ago it was here on Sundays, now it's back to Saturdays now. So if you get up Saturday morning and walk in the bathroom and eek, there's a big roach, you know, you got away easy. Eek, a bug. Small panic. Sunday, it doesn't change too much until you get to the last half of the day and the moon shifts into Leo. Once that happens, the vibes change totally. They start settling down. They get happier. Jupiter's there in Leo. And so everybody starts getting happy. And doggone, Sunday night, there's a trine to Saturn and to Mars. And everybody's got their act together. They chop the wood. The bills are paid. Got money in the bank. We feel secure. All the physical world is taken care of here. Organized sports does just fine. It's late Sunday night. Mars got his act together. And looky there. There's Venus. The Venus trine is Monday morning. The way it looks, young men, is if you're responsible and you keep it down. You got to hold down all that Martian energy and be real gentle. You might get a reward from Venus Monday morning. Stay in bed late. The middle of Monday, the moon goes by Jupiter. There should be optimism and laughter. It trines Uranus in the middle of the day in the afternoon, and Jupiter trining Uranus brings out all the nice things about brotherhood, all the Woodstock, feelings and ambitions. And maybe we can clean this world up and it could be brotherhood with no war. It's possible, It's age of Aquarius now. All the World War II generations dying off. Mercury square. Well, kids aren't real happy Monday night late. And it doesn't help to talk any. But you had a pretty good Monday, didn't you? And Tuesday won't change too much. The moon's still in Leo. You get to Wednesday, the moon shifts into Virgo. Starts to get confusing. You're coming up on the Saturn-Neptune square. It's going to be infamous, this square, because you're going to watch it for a while. Watch what happens in your life. You try to pour a liquid, Neptune's liquid, and it spills. There's problems with it. There's delays. The milk went bad. The cat turned over the bowl. Something happened here. It starts with Saturn, and so everybody's concerned about physical stuff. We're trying to be on time and responsible, but doggone, we got confused. Yeah, confusion. Wow.